Hello there, welcome back to the YouTube channel. Break from MH3, we're going back to partners, or background pairings, and today I'm looking at Karlach, Fury of Avernus, who's going to be paired with a Tavern Brawler. So Karlach to start with, red and 4 mana for a 5/4 Tiefling Barbarian. We're going back to Battle for Baldur's Gate, obviously, because it's Tiefling. D&D character, and whenever you attack, if it's the first combat phase of the turn, untap all attacking creatures. They gain first strike until the end of turn. After this phase there is an additional combat phase. And then the Tavern Brawler, command a creature you own, have at the beginning of your upkeep exile the top card of your library. Until the end of turn, this creature gets +X +0 until the end of turn, where X is that card's mana value. You may play that card this turn. So what am I trying to do with this? Well, what I'm trying to do with this is annoy people by having lots and lots of combat steps, making Karlach very, very big, and then basically one-shotting them. Potentially. Not going to say it's going to be easy, but one of the people on my stream asked me to have a go at this, and this is what I've come up with. The person I thought it wasn't, so I'm sorry whichever one of my stream followers who asked me to do this in the chat asked me to do, but I can't remember who it was, so we're doing it now, and this is what today's deck looks like. One thing I will point out is this is not a cheap deck to build, even in paper or on Magic Online. It's nearly 100 tickets on Magic Online, and it's about 680-ish. There's a couple of cards you can work out when you see them. Well, I mean, one of the pictures there, Mana Vault, you can take out. But I've put them in because I really want to ramp up and do this properly. So bear with me for this one. This should be fun. I have play tested it once, and it does work quite well. So creatures, 21 of them, not too many. Because we don't want to really want to exiling the creatures once we get the Tavern Brawler into play. But what we do want to do is ensure that we can cast things that we have. So 21 creatures was the way I went with it, and this is what we're going with. So we're going with some prowess stuff. So we've got Monastery Swiftspear, Abbot of Kerkeep. Into the battlefield, we can exile, play it from exile if we need to. In it, Send Shell of the Sun, because we do have cards that we can exile and discard. Might as well try and pump up the creatures we go along. Kedris is here. Whenever a commander you control deals combat damage to an opponent, it deals that much damage to each other opponent. So it makes sense to have this one here, so we can get Karlach's damage shared out quite a lot. Lightning Visionary is just a 2/1 prowess -4 shaman. Loyal Apprentice gives us a Thopter each turn that we can attack with once we have Karlach in play, and the Loyal Apprentice makes it to combat each turn. Broadside Bombardiers makes an appearance. This is one of the cards you can drop if you want to play this on MTGO. I'm lucky enough I opened this in a treasure chest, and sacrifice another creature or artifact. Broadside Bombardiers deals damage equal to 2 plus the sacrifice permanent's mana value to any target, and that can get explosive in this deck. Combat Celebrant is something we're going to exert and do it and basically get an extra attack step and untap it and go again. So there are ways. We can only exert once, so bear that in mind. Lalia, the Reforged Blade, is here because we are exiling cards. We might as well get some +1/+1 counters on Lalia to try and make them bigger and get some damage in. Laval, Cultist of Tiamat. Whenever we cast a non-creature spell, we can give a target creature +X +0 until the end of turn, where X is that spell's mana value. Key card that really does need to target Karlach when we get there. Bear it in mind. Thorned Moloch gives us first strike and has prowess, so that's fine. It's just another creature with prowess. Valor Stinger, at the beginning of your combat on your turn, target creature gets +1 +0 until the end of turn. Nice way of pumping up Karlach just generally. We have got Porfrost, God of the Forge, in here. Just deal some damage when we play our creatures. It's a red deck, so Bonehorde Dracosaur also makes an appearance for the treasures and possibly the 3/1 dinosaur creatures. The other version of Porfrost, the Bronze Blooded, is also here. So we can give all our creatures haste, which is nice, and we can also do the whole red creature card or artifact creature card from our hand onto the battlefield and do it that way. If we're giving them all haste, they get to attack, which really does help this deck. Riona, the Fire Dancer, copies lots of creatures, hopefully. The one thing we do want to copy is the Ancient Copper Dragon, so we can cast even more stuff with the treasure tokens we'll hopefully make. Furbolg Flutus with the whole myriad thing can make people very upset very quickly, especially if you nick their biggest creature and then you get a whole load of copies going at people. And don't forget, you keep the creature until the end of the turn. So if you get the untapping with one of the spells that gives you an additional combat step, you're going to be away with this. People are going to hate you forever, but it's going to be fun. Morag, Fury of Akum, is also in because the landfall trigger gives you an additional combat step. But remember, play the land in your second main phase to get the additional combat step. Just remember that. Scourge of the Throne, it does the whole dethrone bit. It also gives us an additional combat. And Tyrant's familiar. As long as we control our commander, it becomes a 7/7 dragon with haste. And the familiar attacks, it deals 7 damage to target creature defending player controls. So kind of brutal. Spell-wise, Crash Through to give all our creatures trample to make sure we're getting the damage through if we can't make things unblockable. Molten Duplication gives us a copy of a non-legendary creature that gives it haste, and we sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. Nice little card from the Aftermath set. Smash to Smithereens to blow up an artifact that's annoying us. Chaos Warp to get rid of something that's annoying us. Jessica's Will for the mana and the cards we'll get, hopefully, when we play this when Karlach's in play. Chain Reaction for the damage we can deal. Relentless Assault, there's your first next additional combat. Burn Down the House gives either the devils or 5 damage to everything. Control the board bit. Reforge the Soul so we can miracle it away and discard our hand and draw 7 if we need to. Elemental Eruption for the extra dragons we will hopefully get, and then hopefully we give everything haste, by one of the means we've got, so those dragons can attack. Surge to Victory, we get to exile target instant or sorcery card from our graveyard, and then all of our creatures get +X/+0 until the end of the turn, where X is that card's mana value. And whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player this turn, copy the exiled card. You may cast the copy without paying its mana cost. Have you seen what happens when you do this against something that gives you an additional attack step? Things get big and people get upset. Fury of the Horde is here, just to exile a couple of cards from red cards from our hand to get the additional combat on the go, so we don't have to worry about mana. Call forth the Tempest, because why wouldn't you want to cascade again and get that damage in? Insurrection, let's nick everybody's creatures, will attack with all of them and go over it that way with a couple of attack steps and win that way. And Blasphemous Act again to control the board. This is where it does get a little bit more expensive because we have got a lot of mana ramp here. So we've got Jeweled Lotus, Mana Crypt, we've got Mox Tantalite, Soul Talisman, Mana Vault, Arcane Signet, Fire Diamond, Mind Stone, Ruby Medallion, Thought Vessel, all to ramp us up. So we've got lots of mana available to do this with. Beyond that, we have got Key to the City to make something unblockable, aka Karlach. We have got the Wedding Invitation to make something unblockable, aka Karlach. We've got Brass Tunnels Grinder is also here just for the... Hold on, let's just cover Karlach up for a second. The Brass Tunnels Grinder is also here. So at the beginning of your end step, if you descended this turn, put a ball counter on Brass Tunnels Grinder. Then if there are 3 or more ball counters on it, remove those counters and transform it. And then we get to do the whole discovery thing. So we can also discard cards and then draw that many cards +1 if we need to when it comes into play. So it does refill your hand, kind of. A bit of equipment. Fun and games also happening. We've got Gimli's Axe, so we can give it to our legendary creature and give it menace, so it makes Karlach even harder to block. We haven't made them unblockable. Same with Chitintius Cloak to make something +2/+2 and menace. The Reaver Cleaver just gives us treasure tokens we can use. Hexbreaker Warplate gives an additional combat step if we can get it off and running. And I've left Erebrask's Forge in the deck. I like this card. If you're getting lots of combat steps, extra oil counters, extra X1 Phyrexian horror tokens with trample and haste seems really good. Enchantments, not many. Mass Hysteria, if we need it to make sure we can do the Alpha Strike by giving everything haste. Sticky Fingers gives us some treasure when we get this combat damage in, and a card draw when the enchanted creature dies. We've got another couple of the backgrounds in, so Guild Artisan is here. So whenever this creature attacks a player, if no opponent has more life than that player, you create 2 treasure tokens, so that helps. Popular Entertainer also makes an appearance, so we can goad creatures. Aggravated Assault gives us a way to sink all of our treasures, hopefully that we've generated, into an additional attack step. Court of Embereth for 3/1 night blocker, and then maybe some damage if we're the Monarch still. And the Court of Ear, shocking or doing 7 to anything, kind of helps. Fiery Emancipation and City on Fire to help us treble up on the damage we're dealing. Bear in mind this is general damage, not non-combat damage, so these are slightly more important in this deck. And City on Fire, don't forget we can convoke it in with some of the creatures we have. Lands, not much. Some sack lands to go and find them out. Castle Embreath to pump our creatures up. Fabled Passage, Maestro's Theatre, Cabaretti Courtyard, Riveter's Oak Lake, all give us a life and a mountain when we do it. We are playing 23 mountains. Rogue's Passage is in here as well from that point of view. We then also have Terramorphic Expanse, and finally Valakut, the Molten Pinnacle, as a backup win condition. And that is it. I think this is one of the virtually more casual, well, I say casual, a lot of powerful cards in it, but I don't think it's going to be that powerful to play in the deck. But because of all the MH3 stuff that I've been doing this week, I haven't really got anything to play. So you're watching this on Thursday or late on Wednesday if you're across the pond from me. This will be one of the decks I do stream tonight on Thursday when you're watching this. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Please hit the subscribe button if you can. It's down there somewhere, bottom right hand corner of your screen. 429 people as I record this video, so hopefully if you hit subscribe you help me get a little bit closer to my 500. If you want to see me play this on Twitch tonight, go and hit the bell icon. There's a link down below to my Twitch. You can come and see me play it over there tonight, and it'll be the first deck I play tonight, so bear that in mind. But for now, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.